What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast with your host, Noah Lack. I bring on your favorite athletes to chat about sports, business, life, but today we got a special solo dolo episode where I'm going to give you 5 notable news headlines relating to sports and business and give you my takes, what I think, why you should care, why you should be paying attention, all that stuff. We have some very interesting news topics lately that I need to address. And before I do so, if you can, please like, comment, subscribe to the pod. Let us know what you think about it. That'd be really helpful, and we'll keep the momentum going. All right, let's get right into it. Big news in the CPG space. Jams is an uncrusted peanut butter and jelly sandwich and has hit Walmart with a big launch announcement from investors such as Alex Morgan, Texans quarterback CJ Stroud, and Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons, although I don't know if he's going to be on the Cowboys by the time this episode airs, but we'll see. New CPG brand has hit Walmart, huge launch. It has 10 grams of protein and reportedly made with, quote unquote, without the weird ingredients, no seed oils, high fructose corn syrup dyes, and according to a release about the launch, the jelly is made with real fruit, coming in strawberry and mixed berry flavors, and the sandwiches are catered towards active lifestyles. So, just for context here, you guys have probably grew up on Smuckers, right? The uncrusted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And that's, pretty much been a monopoly in terms of we think about peanut butter and jelly and what that means to the average daily consumer. Connor, founder of Jams, is coming in basically saying, not only do I have a healthier alternative, I'm going to make it as convenient as a Smuckers, but I'm also going to have huge athletes push it. And this is where I found it really interesting. Getting buy-in pre-launch is pretty nuts. Obviously, the company's been around. The parent company's been around for multiple years. And I'm sure they've tinkered with the product, making sure folks like it. But this is a really big deal of how early this company is launching with the level of backing that it's getting. It's pretty awesome. So my 2 things is one, we see a ton of celebrity-backed CPG brands. And it's not, for me, what I'm curious about is not year one sales, but year 2. When the pixie dust, honeymoon, when the excitement wears off, what do the sales and retention look like? Then you really get into okay, what is in this product? Is this product sticky? Is this a new category? Does this have mind share with people? And I think that's what a lot of when celebrity-backed CPG brands fail, is usually because they just rely on the hype, the clout, the fame, and don't really worry about product, listening to the customer, finding out what's the best revenue stream, what retail buyers they should be working with, all the stuff that goes outside. It's all the stuff behind the scenes. So I think the best CPG brands that are celebrity-backed have that both. They have the celebrity pizzazz and they just have incredible execution. And so I'm curious to see what year 2 looks like for Jams. Not year 1. Obviously year 1 matters, but year 2, when the pixie dust, the honeymoon wears off. According to CNBC, NFL teams consume more than 80,000 Crustables per year as a growing number of teams and athletes look for a fast, convenient, and filling snack, okay? Connor said, quote, athletes want to get the best possible products to fuel their body and lifestyle. And then you have 2 factors that when you think about Smuckers and in this sort of PB&J niche category, nostalgia and ease. Easy to eat, nostalgic, good snack food. But one thing that they're attacking is the health part of it. So we mentioned convenience and nostalgia, but is it healthy? And this is where I find it really interesting. What we're seeing right now is protein-infused fill in the blank. Protein-infused pasta, protein-infused peanut butter and jelly, protein-infused cookies. I don't know, but fill in the blank. And whenever protein enters the chat, athletes sort of get looped into the world. And I think it's really beneficial for the sports community that all these consumer food brands that are growing are really trying to integrate protein. Because when we think about it from a portfolio perspective for athletes, they can kind of now, they're more sought after now than ever before. And it's not just because, of their following, but it's also, you think about their relationship with protein and how much protein athletes need to sustain themselves in every sport they play. And so this protein-infused blank era that's kind of coinciding with the health and wellness longevity piece is really interesting. And you're seeing, this is a great example, right? Because when you don't think protein infused PB&J, it is not immediately obvious or something that you think about. And so I like where this is going. Moving on to a trend, I'm going to give you two headlines and then analyze both of them at the same time because I think it's important to dissect them collectively. So first off, Barstool's going to Fox Sports. Fox announced a wide range of upcoming collaborations with Barstool. Dave Portnoy and Dan Katz will be regular contributors to Fox Sports' Big Noon Kickoff, a college football game day on Saturday starting this fall, all right? So keep that in mind, right? Fox Sports, huge legacy network, is tapping into Barstool. Obviously, Barstool's established, but, Dave and Dan, respectively, are huge media brands. They're recruiting them over to their side. Okay, now keep this in mind. Keep that headline in mind. More recent headline. Creator Kate Feeney joins ESPN. She is a sports and lifestyle content creator with more than 14 million social media followers, and she's going to create content across ESPN's digital and social channels. What is happening right now with media and the folks that are creating with it is very similar to what we're seeing. The best comparison that I want to make here to what you're seeing with legacy media and individual creators is very similar to what's going on with the college sports transfer portal. A lot of college programs would rather recruit a ready-made older transfer who comes in with experience and tactical skill set rather than recruit someone with potential from high school and develop them in their program. And the same thing is happening with legacy media. ESPN, whether it's with Shannon Sharp, Fox Sports, we're tapping into Barstool and Dave Portnoy. ESPN with Kate Feeney. They're saying, hey, look, we actually want to see who's got their individual audience. Let's bring them to our network, add fuel to the fire, give them a nice salary, and instead of finding the next Shannon Sharp or developing folks through their pipeline. Like going to Syracuse for a sports journalism degree, I'm like, what's the value of that these days when probably the most high leverage thing you can do to work for ESPN is just start making your own content. Be talented, but blow up and have a real audience. Because it seems like that is the number one criteria these days. And so I think you should be taking it. So I think that's an important headline to make note of. All right, moving on. Staying on college sports, AJ Dybantsa, the potential number 1 overall draft pick in the 2026 NBA draft, is currently a freshman at BYU and signed an 8-figure deal with Fanatics. He will be a multimillionaire before stepping onto the court. According to a source familiar with the deal, it is one of the most significant name, image, and likeness deals ever for an athlete. The exclusive partnership announced in an embargoed media release Wednesday starts immediately and will be centered around Fanatics' own Topps trading cards and other items. I had an episode a while ago where I was questioning, do people give a shit about trading cards? And I got a lot of people texting me like, an outrage, oh, how do you not know? How are you not tuned in? I don't care about trading cards, but apparently there's $1 billion economy around it. So there you go. You can sit around at your desk playing with your cute little cards. Congrats. And AJ Dybantsa is going to be worth a lot of money before he even touches an NBA court because of this deal. And for perspective, AJ Dybantsa will make more money than late first-round picks of this year's draft. Let me say that again. AJ Dybantsa is going to make more money than the late first-round NBA draft picks. And this is the new era of professional sports, particularly the NBA, where players are going into the league not stressed about cash, and so they're going to be more choosy of what organization and franchise they land with. This is a downstream effect. You saw it with Ace Bailey. Wanted to choose where he wanted to go. Yeah, maybe his representation was a little shady. Checking out his haircut on IG Live. I know you guys saw that. But he probably didn't come into the draft stressed for $1. He was worried more about fit than being number 1. And while AJ Dybantsa has a real chance of being number 1, the money he's making, it takes that pressure off. I mean, this is incredible, and this is a sign of the future as long as the legislation allows it to do so. You have to report every time you make over $600, you as a college athlete, you have to report it to Deloitte. I want to see AJ dump a bunch of cash on an accountant's desk and say, this is how much money I'm making, and see what they do with that. What are you even supposed to report? What are you going to do? Is it, it's, unless it's for the IRS, Deloitte is just going to be like, okay, great. And then they're probably going to be knowing knowing how things go in life, they'll probably be more strict on someone who reports a $1,000 NIL deal just to exercise power. Anyways, quick overview here. Shout out to the 2025 MLB Hall of Fame class. All right, we got Ichiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, Dick Allen, and Dave Parker. Ichiro Suzuki, first Japanese-born player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. If there's a second one coming up at some point, or a third or fourth, it's definitely Shohei Ohtani. Not his interpreter, though. His interpreter will not be making the Hall of Fame. That's why I'm glad they give just athlete accolades, not the folks behind the scenes. Sometimes you got to play your role. You got to be behind the scenes and not steal $17 million from someone. But shout out to Ichiro for blazing that path. And Shohei, you will be next. But Ippei Mizuhara will not be joining him at the ceremony, in his future ceremony 10 years from now. That is my official report right there. But moving on, I want to cover also some of the notable NBA free agent moves. Here are the two notable ones for me. Let me tell you something. The Houston Rockets will win the NBA championship next year with Kevin Durant at the helm. Everyone's like, KD's damaged goods. He's old, mid-30s. Yeah, he does Euros in the club, but is he going to, quit after a year? No, sir. Houston breeds loyalty. Kevin Durant, this is my sports take of the day. Kevin Durant will win a championship with the Houston Rockets, all right? He just needs to stay healthy, let Amen Thompson handle a solid amount of the offensive and defensive load, Şengün, and the Rockets are a real contender, not a pretender, all right? KD will end his career with 3 championships. 2 with the Warriors, 1 with the Rockets, all right? It's going to happen, all right? And I'm not biased. Was I born and raised in Houston for 18 years? Yes. Am I biased? No. Straight facts. It's what's going to happen, all right? On another note, you see the price tags of the NBA free agents. For all the finance folks out there, these guys are walking venture funds. Look how much money is being thrown at NBA players, even non-superstars, right? That is a huge portfolio. I hope those get put to use. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Second one, Chris Paul returning to the Clippers. The Clippers are that high school reunion team that the guys are kind of fresh out, but they're like, yeah, we're still help. We can still dunk. We still get up there. That is the high school reunion team. If they don't win it next year, half the team will be retiring. The Clippers have a short window every year. Every year is their year. But Chris Paul going to the Clippers, the only thing I could think of, bring back Cliff Paul. I think that's what's missing for the Clippers. We just need the State Farm commercials, all right? We need the State Farm and Cliff Paul back in it, create Chris's character, inject some youth into there, and then maybe, just maybe, the Twilight Clippers will be able to achieve greatness and get past the second round of the NBA playoffs. If the Clippers can get past the second round of the NBA playoffs, I think that's a win in their book. Because I don't know, what the ceiling is there. I got to give my take on Myles Turner going to the Bucks. Wow, talk about, going behind your ex's back. That was a surprising one to me. Indiana said they offered, Turner's camp probably feels a different type of way. But man, it's a business. You got to remind yourself, all the team camaraderie, all the here's my reminder, and here's where I'll end the pod. This shit is a business, man. You see those OKC guys, you see the guys putting towels on the players after the game, after the interview. I get it. They got good camaraderie. But one of those towel guys, one of those guys could be out 30 minutes from that interview to a different team. I'm just saying, man, this is a cutthroat, cold business, all right? So bundle up. So those are my quick takes of the news today. If you like that, please like, subscribe. If you want to see more news takes, more takes on what I'm seeing in the sports business world, let me know. Give us your thoughts. Put down a comment or two. This is another episode with your host, Noah Lack. I'll see you for the next one.